my people, now welcome to this channel where we dey give now ogbonge update on wetin dey happen for Biafran territory. As Prime Minister dey always talk say im go make the kidnapping of Oyendu from Kenya useless. Today, now wetin dey happen. I'll make we listen to the analysis of Mazi Nnamdi.
This is great news, of course, for the Biafrans. Nigerian government and the politicians are now regretting, of course, the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu following the recent developments as the quest for regional control intensify within the Senate and, of course, the political class. They are now fighting with each other, of course, as rightly reported that Fashola disagrees with the regional control and Shetima for whatever reason best known to them. Of course, there is something fishing. There is fire on the mountain. The actual rock is agog. There is great confusion, of course, engulfing the entire political sphere within the Nigerian state. And of course, some are not understanding what is playing out. There could be some things that are still being covered up. Of course, it's just a matter of time. We'll get to understand, of course, the music that is playing and who is playing the music behind the scene. It is indeed a great moment, of course, for the Biafrans as the regional control quest is intensified within the National Assembly and, of course, the House of Representatives. They are now discussing intensely how, of course, to stop the Biafra declaration by way of calling for regional control. Whatever happens, of course, only time will define how far they can go. But the reality is that where is the president? The president is missing in action, and of course, Setima and Fashola is the one playing a vital role, making public, of course, utterances and other public appearances. We've not seen of most recent time or confirmed, of course, whether the president is within Nigeria or not. These are questions, of course, because of the information that is not well, of course, disseminated or informed. Of course, this skepticism and the speculations will continue until people get to understand where the president is and his actions, his fate. But whatever be the case, the politicians and the Nigerian government has understood that it is meaningless and useless. The extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that Simon Ekpa has made the kidnap or rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu useless in their hands. The quest and, of course, agitation for the restoration of the Biafran state have been sustained, is gaining more momentum, expanding, of course, like a wildfire, ever than imagined before. It was alleged that after the ordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the then Malami, of course, who happened to be the Attorney General, addressed the world that the end of Biafra has come. But unfortunately to him, of course, that is the depth of ignorance being expressed, that this is just the beginning of a new dimension, of course, of the Biafran struggle. And Biafra is taking, of course, a new breath, a new spirit, a new energy, of course, to push ahead. That is just what we have seen with the leadership of the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic, government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Unfortunately, the loss, of course, their calculations was full of error. They never knew that if the devil knew by killing Jesus, he would have lost all his, of course, right over woman. He wouldn't have contemplated doing so or encouraging anyone to do so. That is just the same dilemma. Of course, the Nigerian politicians found themselves, especially those who conspired against the ordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and are still playing vital roles, of course, to keep him incarcerated for indefinitely, of course, to their own chagrin. They have come to understand that the Odogu man, the man, of course, the bulldozer, of course, just emerged a circumstantial leader. Mazi Simon Ekpa once claimed that he is 50 out of the 100 men that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was looking for. He only needs 100 men who will stand for him. Simon Ekpa accepted to be the 50 man in him have been expressed. Of course, you have heard from the CDS, the Chief Defense Staff, and the Chief of Army Staff, that Mazi Simon Ekpa is becoming a menace, a nightmare. Of course, a sleepless night, causing a sleepless night to the entire security architecture within Nigeria. And of course, he also admitted and affirmed that the entire area surveillance or entire airspace within the Biafran territory has been hijacked, of course, according to him, by Simon Ekpa. This is happening, of course, and more Simon Ekpa informed the world that is going to build the highest, of course, defense system within the Biafran state that is not known, of course, by anyone, that have not been heard. As we await this unfold, it's becoming very clear that this battle, of course, is being lost and, of course, won. But the matter, of course, of who wins and who loses is just a function of time. But the reality, of course, staring at us today affirms that, of course, things have fallen apart. And indeed, the quest for the restoration, the eagerness, the enthusiasm, the energy, the sacrifice, and the willingness for the Biafrans, of course, to have a place they can call their nation, their home, who that can be, of course, very proud to identify with, has sustained the quest, of course, and expanded the horizon and the approach and the strategy for the restoration of the Biafran state in the most recent concluded Biafran Day, where the heroes of the Biafrans, of course, were observed, including my father, who fought to defend, of course, the living today. It has never happened that the acceptance and the compliance across the entire world, the Biafrans converge to celebrate, to have the sense of identity, to have a sense of commitment, the sense of belonging. You can see the passion, of course, of nationalistic passion and patriotism within the Biafrans across the globe. They left whatever they are doing to observe this day, regardless that they are not in the, of course, Biafran land or the home land. This is quite interesting. Needed to say what happened in Delta State, in Anambra, of course, in River State, and other parts of the front Biafran region. It is quite interesting, and that sent a very deadly signals to the Nigerian government and the politicians who thought by extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the end has come for the Biafrans. But rightly, of course, they were proven wrong. That Biafra is a spirit and ideology that can never be conquered, because there is no other superior ideology that can displace the quest for independence, the quest for freedom, which is an inalienable right given to all by God. And no one has the right to usurp such rights except you are looking for more catastrophic confrontation or resistance, which, of course, of most recent, the Biafran Defense Force have expressed. And you can see the morale, the motivation, of course, is coming, I mean, not on this earth. It's something outside the space we call the earth. They are so energetic and so enthusiastic about the sacrifice and the volunteer, of course, force in defense of their own country, in defense of where they belong, where they identify with, and where they believe is the only hope, of course, for their posterity and the unborn generations. That the Nigerian government and not foster any further unity, coherence. Just as the Nigerian made a very sweet move, Nigerian government made a very sweet move to alter, to suspend, abolish, of course, the past national anthem without following the due process. There are processes that will lead to amendment of the constitution before, of course, such alteration could be made. If you do not alter the position of the constitution, there was not any amendment of the constitution regarding this. There was no public hearings. Of course, the impact of the state assemblies of the 36 states were not sought for. It means, of course, this is an illegality. Of course, the foundation built on faulty cannot stand. What is a matter of time that will reveal the reality. But that notwithstanding, that is now our subject today. Simon Ekpa has made the rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu useless in the hands of Nigeria government and the politicians, of course, who are interested in holding him in injustice, in holding the masses perpetually in servitude, in abject poverty, pains and penuries, agonies. Well, that, of course, have been proven wrong according to the submissions and the reactions that Mazi Simon, even the Defense Force or headquarters, have accepted and admitted that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is indeed 50 man in one. Of course, he has become a menace according to them. He has become a threat, a nightmare. He has become, of course, a sleeping night, a sleepless night, causing a sleepless night to them and the security operatives. Well, let's leave you here, of course, to make of your own observations and comment, of course, on this latest development that is unfolding very clearly. We are seeing the handwriting on the wall. Of course, it is giving a more excitement and energy to all our Sunday who believe in the cause of Biafra and who are lovers of Biafra across the entire ethnic nationalities and, of course, beyond the shores of Africa. Remember, blessed until I come your way. I remain Chigozie, of course, the anchor and analyst here in Govt TV. We bring your way unbiased reportage of events as the heart, of course, with passion, enthusiasm, and eagerness to serve humanity in this capacity. Remain blessed. Let's, of course, meet at the comment section and continue this discussion until I come your way in subsequent edition. Remain blessed and stay safe. Don't forget to hit the like buttons. I observe that most of you that watch my video, of course, don't assist out by hitting the subscription button so that you can get notifications immediately the videos are being uploaded. Of course, it does not cost anything to just subscribe. It is very free and free indeed. You can also support us via the comments, of course, super chat and joining our YouTube partnership to keep us in the service to humanity. Thank you once again. Remember, blessed.